So Vince, I want to talk to you about Google and the relationship between lenders and real estate agents. Let's talk a little bit about this.
So what would you like to talk about? How specifically?
You and I were having bagels this morning, and we were talking about the recent decision that's where Google has to open up the Android platform to allow other stores.
Well, I think what we started with, we started just chatting about the whole issue of mortgage lenders sort of getting palsy with real estate offices.
Yeah.
And trying to come up with exclusive arrangements with realtor offices. And our conversation on that sort of turned around to that. And as a side, I think we can pull in lender arrangements with builders too that may come into play here. But now with the changes in what's happening with real estate offices, how lenders are trying to find better connections with realtors. And in our news the last week or so, we've had several lender companies that have announced that they have come into some kind of alliance with these folks. And we were talking about, should we be chatting about that? And I said, well, the issue we have there is, the real estate offices still have to let other people in. They can't just, it's going to be a red.
I mean, they have to.
It can't. If you walk into a real estate office and they say, hey, that's great, we're going to do this stuff with you. We have, our preferred lender right here. And they only show you that preferred lender. While they're not going to say to you, you can't get the deal done without going to a preferred lender, they can probably do some stuff that starts making it seem like it's a RESPA violation. Other lenders have to be able to, or at least the consumer has to be able to choose some other lenders. So now okay. The issue, and I know that you, so you argued a little bit this morning, like, okay, that's fine. There's a lender, here's a real estate office, and here's a lender sitting right next to them, and they say, you could use them. They're right here. They're very convenient. We're not going to force you to do it, right?
Yeah. Well, this is different. Now, that was not just saying preferred lender. Now, these are partnerships. So where they're creating corporations, that is owned by the real estate company and owned by the mortgage company, and it's licensed, and it's they're basically saying, hey, here's an option. You can go wherever you want. You don't have to use this mortgage company.
But it's very clear that it's right here. So my argument has been, okay, what happens when another lender wants to walk in that office and say, we want to have representation in here as well? And they're going to say no. Now, right before we had this conversation, yesterday afternoon, a federal court came down really hard on Google and Google's Play Store, Android Play Store for Android phones, right?
Yeah.
And what they said was, hey, this is wrong. You cannot just have the Play Store. Google wants everybody to go into the Play Store, get their apps from there. They know it's all. The federal government.
It's not even apples and oranges. This is like apples and bananas. This is like apples and steaks.
What happened was,
if you have an Android phone, you're controlled in there. You can't do anything else besides buy things from the Android store.
That's not true. That's not true. You can download apps on a if you go a different way.
A different way. Okay.
A different way. You may have to find a different way to do it, but you can. What the court said is the way this has been set up, where it's basically preferred provider, right? The Play Store and the apps that are in there. The court said you can't have that. You've got to let other people come in and put app stores in the Android environment as well. You have to be able to let them do that. And Google can't give developers any kind of preferred rate or preferred placement. If they say, hey, we're going to come into the Play Store and we'll do Play Store only, or we're going to come into the Play Store and we're going to give some preferential
What are you saying? You're saying, like, say, a real estate agent, that has an office, that has a relationship with a mortgage company, that they have a joint venture with a mortgage company, that they should be forced to say, okay, but, we have this relationship with this mortgage company, but here are two other mortgage companies that you could do business with. Is that what this scenario that you want to fix with?
You are incredulously incredulous. I just can't believe that you are being this obtuse. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that stuff that we previously took and said, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I think that there's a lot of things happening on the legal basis. I mean, listen, right? The entire commission structure of the real estate industry changed overnight, which nobody thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
if you can
We do that all the time.
you make an argument.
Like if you go to see like a baseball game and you're going to get hot dogs and you're like, hey, I want other options. These hot dogs are not good. I want turkey hot dogs. I want vegan hot dogs. Give me other options. Is that what you're going to start doing that and start legislating hot dogs at games?
Yeah. Okay. You love to engage in what we call facile arguments that have no equivalency.
I learned from the best.
The issue here is what I'm saying is that if you look at something where you think, hey, even the technology here works for this. Google, and I'm guessing this is going to come to the Apple Store too, but Google wants apps that are going to work in the Android environment. There has to be a connection there. And Google wants to police how this works because they've got all these Google phones, Android phones, all these things that are out there running the Android operating system. They want to make sure that any app being put onto the phones works with the phones. Of course, they want the money out of it too, right? But you can argue that they've got a true technological need for this to go and to be centralized, except the courts don't agree. They think it's called monopolization. They think that that's restraint of trade. And given what we've seen happen on the realtor side, I think if you're sitting here and you've got real estate companies saying, we have reasons to be working specifically with these lenders over here, whether they say it's just a straight up partnership or whether they say it's a business arrangement or whether they say it's just we're just giving them space because they're the nicest, sweetest lenders ever going here. I think that we're going to see an attack on that coming.
Okay.
Because we're seeing it coming in other areas.
Maybe a disclosure saying next thing, yeah, you can work with anyone you want to work with, but this company is who we work with is okay. But like forcing actually real estate agents to bring in mortgage companies is ridiculous.
If you're going to bring in one mortgage company and make it seem like the consumer is going to be better off with that, I think that given what's been happening right now in the legal environment, in both real estate, mortgage lending, and other.
Goodness.
Well, listen, Google is being ordered to basically break up. Android is being ordered to change the way it handles this stuff.
Oh, Android
massive
changes
is
open
coming
source.
to organizations. Massive changes coming to organizations that we thought pretty much were bulletproof on this stuff, and it's happening. Now, you can close your eyes and go, it'll never happen over here. It'll never happen. We've had lots and lots of things that have come down legally, lots of things that we thought were never going to happen, but they happened anyway. So you go ahead, close your eyes, and get bulldozed by this stuff in the next few years.
Bad ideas.
And the people who
somehow make it to
keep themselves
to market all the time. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Goodbye.
I won this one.
You did
Clearly.
not. Why? We'll see who goes bankrupt, me or you.
For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com.